Okay, I'm just going to wing this video. I just wanted to share with you a few ideas on what you can do to um, be ready for any emergencies. I have a few different videos here. If you type in prep or prepping in my search box on my YouTube page, you'll get a long list of videos here, warnings that the Lord gave me, along with things that you can do. Simple things all the way to expensive things that you can do to be ready for any natural disaster or emergencies, um, especially if there's food shortages or economic issues due to the current situation that we're in. And we know that birth pains will just increase. So, and the Bible warns us of hard times. So these are just some ideas to get you going. And if you want, you can leave a message. Um, you can share with me your email address. I can email you a survival list. Now, some of the places selling survival, like emergency foods, especially the dehydrated foods, are selling out since this whole shutdown occurred. But you can still find some in some areas. So I'm hoping my volume is still on. I don't know why there's a red line over my speaker. I guess we'll find out when I'm done. All right, so here I have this video from a year ago, things God can do, sharing why you should prep and how I did. So here you can see some tomato plants starting in my, they're only like 2 by 4 foot raised beds, but I have 4 or 5 of them on the side of the house. They're in the side of the house that's only like 5 foot wide, and then it's really long. So I have like 5 of these boxes, and they're sufficient to put, 2 or 3 vegetables or fruits in each container. So I'll share some more pictures near the end, but so I'll leave a link to this page in my text box, and you can watch some of these videos. Here's one from 4 years ago when I had a way smaller front flower garden area. I put them on the side of the house only because I have 4 dogs and I don't want them digging through here to get to the bugs and earthworms that get in them, and I don't want them to ruin the plants. So my chickens, rabbits, and garden are all in different locations away from the dogs. All right, you can buy from Costco.com. They have not as many choices as they used to, but they do have this easy prep freeze-dried fruits bucket for one. It's $120, but it lasts up to 25 years if you don't open it, and then usually it's like a year or two if you do, once you do unseal it. They do have a maximum purchase quantity of 2, so they are limiting these, but they are still selling them and delivering them, and it says 5 to 7 business days from time of order. So in this particular 5-gallon bucket that comes sealed, you have you just have to add water to each pouch to reconstitute the fruit. And there's bananas, so there's like 2 or 3 pouches. I'm thinking there's 3 pouches of 36 servings and then 2 of the pineapple, but there's bananas, strawberries, peach slices, diced apples, and pineapple. So it's a pretty good thing, especially if you don't have any fruit trees or you want to make sure you have sufficient fruit and vegetables in the time of emergencies. So it is a little pricey, but you can get smaller 1-gallon cans. This is, again, like a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, I bought about a month ago my one splurge was I bought this Presto 16-quart pressure canner and cooker. So it's a canner and cooker, pressure cooker or a canner. So you can can in here, and I got the 16-quart because one of my friends told me, and see how there's only one left? Um, when I bought it a month ago on Walmart.com with free shipping, now they're charging for delivery. It was only it was 69 or 71, $72. It was around $70, so the price has already went up $30 and there's only one left. But you can find these at different, I mean, if you type it in, you might be able to find it on Amazon or whatnot. But um, you can with these because, and you know, once you boil the jars and sanitize them, okay, then you can fill them and place the lids on semi-loosely, and you place the whole thing in the pressure cooker. It comes with a booklet. This one particular came with a booklet, and you can use 12 half pint or 10 pints or 7-quart jars in this one pressure cooker, and it gives you an instruction booklet. So it helps you to can um, fruits or vegetables that you may grow that you may not eat all of and you don't want to freeze, because if we freeze things, what if the power goes out and it doesn't stay frozen very long? But if we jar them, they will last a lot longer. And that's what I plan to do, especially with my, let's see if I can get to the right pictures. I'm not sure where my pictures are. Anyway, I will show you because I have an apple and a cherry tree in my backyard. The cherry tree always gives me vast amounts of cherries, so much so that I give them away because we're not going to eat them all. And I freeze some. I pit them all and then I freeze them in freezer baggies. But I still have some from last June. And now I'm going to have in a couple months a plethora more. So this time I want to can some of the cherries and or make cherry jam as well and can that. So that's why I had bought this pressure canner and cooker for $70, and I look forward to trying my first canning. But we can do that with vegetables. You could do it with meat. You could do it with a variety of foods. And if something's on sale at the store for a really good price, you can always buy it and you can, can it if it's frozen and you don't want it to go bad if the power goes out. Another number one thing that you should always have are seeds. So this is from the number 4 patriots.com. So 4patriots.com. This you can get for $30. You can get this Victory Garden seed collection, 2,890 seeds, and it comes with all these sealed packets. They're non-GMO heirloom seeds, so that once you grow your own crops, you can collect the seeds from those plants and save them for the next year. They will be viable. It says designed to last 5+ years of storage because they seal them, so they're air resistant, and the air is not going to, it's going to take longer for the air to seep in there and degrade them. It says ships in 5 to 7 days also, so they're still selling seeds online, even if you can't get them at your local garden store or home supply store, because some states are having like non-essentials not being sold, which some states are counting seeds as such. Okay, so there is a shipping and handling fee of $10 on orders of $96 or more. But again, and it comes with a free digital survival garden guide. You won't pay shipping for this if you just buy one of these. So again, I have a couple of these. One of them is more than 5 years old. I'll try to plant some of the corn and still see if it grows. But I've always had good luck with them, and you get a variety of vegetables in here and fruits. So it's a good deal for $30. Um, Going on. Also, you can buy some really good deals. You can get good deals on seeds from eBay. So I just typed in buy non-GMO seeds here. Here you got spaghetti squash, and I always go for the people that have free shipping. So see this one, these little finger heirloom carrot seeds, free ship, crisp, non-GMO, buy four, get one free. Their packets of seeds are almost gone. But you can also click on that and click on the seller and then see that their other items that they're selling. Because usually they'll group your all your seeds together and mail them to you. But again, I look for free shipping and the non-GMO heirloom seeds. So here's 25 heirloom Blue Lake bean seeds, free ship, $4. And I just went by lowest price and then increased it. Collard greens, cilantro, some more carrots. So I've had all the seeds I've bought from people on eBay that sell these seeds. They usually do it for, they're doing it because they grow large gardens and they're doing it to make money on the seeds that they grow. And I've always had good luck with their seeds germinating. Okay, again, I'll leave a link to my videos that I've done before. So people always worry that, well, if I buy seeds, they're only going to be good for the one season. It's not true. I've planted packs. I have a couple totes, not huge totes, but like um, double shoebox size totes. I have a couple totes full of seeds. Um, Now, I may save them and may never use all of them. Some may not sprout, but if I have a pack of 50 and 10 of them sprout when I need them in hard times, hey, that's 10. That's 10 plants. So I don't throw them away. I keep them. It says right here, I typed in how long are seeds viable. Most vegetable seeds can stay viable for years. Most vegetable seeds remain good for about 2 to 3 years, but some, such as onions, deteriorate within a year, and others, such as lettuce, can successfully sprout after 5 years. So you really can't, I mean, your best bet is to keep them in a inside area where the temperature is, 60 to 80, the way that you keep it for yourself. Keep them in a tote, in a closet where the temperature stays at that constant temperature, and they're going to last longer than you think they will. So they're a good investment. It doesn't cost that much. Try planting a garden this spring. It's about time right now to start planting. Um, I think for my area, usually they wait till Mother's Day, but I think I'm going to start this coming weekend because it's going to be warming up and I don't see any nights under freezing in the forecast. So, you know, it's good practice. Um, Fresh produce is always way better than the store-bought produce, fruits and vegetables. Okay, so again, you can watch YouTube uh, videos on power pressure cookers, canning session, how to can with the pressure cooker. But supposedly, when you put those in there with the lids and you tighten them just so, um, they're going to boil the contents of the jar and kill any germs that may be in it. And once the whole thing starts cooling off after the cycle, you can hear the lids, the air suction out and pop and pressurize the lids. So it works. Okay, not that. Again, I'll leave a link to this. On my Facebook, here's my cherry tree. So this one just started getting red, but they get dark red. I think they're Bing cherries. They are sweet red cherries. This is early in the in the season when they started growing. Right now it just flowered and they were just pollinated. And then there's some cherries up close. And then I also have an apple. That's the cherry tree. There's my bunnies. But I also have an apple tree. This is the apple tree. Can't see the apples right now, but and then I also planted. Always look at the garden section, especially at the end of spring. You know, at the late spring, early fall, when the homes like Home Depot, Lowe's, and your local garden stores, when they are trying to close out their spring supplies, they usually have some fruit trees that haven't been sold, and they'll mark them way down. So I had these two trees in the yard when we bought this house a couple years ago, but then now I have a red delicious tree, um, a gala apple tree, a peach tree, a an Italian prune tree, which is a plum tree, sweet plum, and then I always forget the name of the word. I didn't even try one last year, but it's a can't think of it. It's not a well-known fruit. Anyway, it's well known in the UK, I believe, or over there in Europe, but an orange quincy tree. It looks like it'd be a cross between an apple and a pear, and they're fuzzy on the outside, like a peach, but they're called orange quincies. And I got it because it was half price. It was $15 at my local garden store, and so I had bought it with the Italian prune tree. They were both 15 bucks, so it was $30 for two trees, which was a good deal. And then I also have planted, I've also planted a, can't think of the red berries either. Anyway, I planted the small red berry plant in the front, and I'll think of the name of it in a moment, along with, I think, 4 blueberry bushes throughout my front and backyard. And so those are things, the trees and bushes are things that are perennials, and you don't really have to do much except keep them watered with your lawn and then prune them. Oh, I also have 3 blackberry bushes. But the red berries out front they're another one that are used to make jams because they're really tart, really small red juicy tart berries. Anyway, I don't really use them. You can eat them. They're really high in vitamin C and they're edible, but my chickens love them. So I usually give them to the chickens. I think I have pictures open, but I'm not sure if all the pictures stayed open. Hold on. So here's my chickens in the chicken run, and here's the chicken coop. But here's some of those red berries. And so chickens, good idea is to get chickens, get them when they're little. Right now, there's a lot of feed stores that are going to be selling baby chicks, most likely. Here's a picture of before I moved to this house. This was a few years ago. When I first get them, they're in a tank, a 20-gallon tank with the light above it on a screen. And so the tank retains the heat. And they all like to perch, so they got these little these dowels in here. This one's a lot bigger, huh? There's a long story behind this picture, but this is Hope, and this is the new flock, because she was part of the first flock of chicks that I had bought. And when we put them outside when they were this age here, maybe a week before this, it wasn't quite secure, and I told my husband that from the neighbor's dogs digging under the fence, and because they have littler dogs. And sure enough, the very first night early morning, it got under the fence and chased. I only had 6, and some went into their yard, some got out my gate, and some got attacked right in the coop or died from fright. But Hope was the only survivor. She got out my gate and she was hiding in the wood pile. She fell through a stack of wood and she was down in there. So she was hiding and safe. But um, the moral of the story is, if at all, if anything, we still have hope, right? So she was my only survivor, and chickens won't last if they're alone. They don't like to be alone. They like to have a flock. So uh, I went and got 6 more. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. So I got 7 new ones and had to start them. Hope stayed in here, and I started them in the tank because they were new hatchlings, and then they graduated to this cage and then she became like their mom. And so yeah, it was very traumatizing, to say the least. But so then this is a bird cage with the light over it to keep them warm still, and then they go into a large dog crate, and then at last I put them in the chicken run with the chicken coop. So if you get them young, you can always, you'll always have a source of protein. I have 9, and they're awesome birds. Uh, only thing about backyard birds is you got to keep their feet clean, and you got to deal with bumblefoot, picking little, like warty type bacterial growths that grow on their feet off after soaking them. So that's a chore. That's a challenge. But other than that, the healthiest birds that I've had, because I have different breeds here, are the Rhode Island Reds. Right now I have 3, and I've never had a single issue with their feet, with their crops, with anything. So the Rhode Island Reds they're pretty good egg producers. The bigger birds, like the Delawares and this one that looks like a barred rock, but it's a Dominic, they're heavier birds and they get more problems with their feet. And then the green egg layers, the Americanas, this one and this one, green shells, they're a little more fragile. Their feet are good, but Freckles died of a impacted crop, and the larger birds have more feet issues because they're heavier. And one of my Delawares died from being egg bound. I didn't know she was egg bound. So, but the Rhode Island Reds haven't had any issues, thank the Lord. And I have 2 of my birds. These 2 right here are going to be 4 years old this July, and they still lay eggs. So, good source of eggs. Doesn't take much to feed them. And one of the things is, with my birds and my chickens, I don't do enough of, but you can, is to grow fodder, because I bought a 50-pound bag of barley fodder for $50, and it's non-GMO, because they don't really try to GMO barley. It's not as common as wheat or corn. So the barley grain is non-GMO, and I bought organic, and 50-pound bag for $50, and 1 pound can fit 2 or 3 of these 12 by 12 trays. And this is what it looks like after soaking the seed and then putting them in the pans and letting, and watering them every day, letting the water drain into this. This is what it looks like after 5-6 days. And then the rabbits love it. and the chickens love it too. And both the rabbits and chickens can eat the grass and the seeds and the roots. So that's just some ideas of how you can prepare, sorry, and be a little bit more ready for things that may come, especially if it's hard to get things at the store. Again, the freeze-dried fruits and vegetables, meats and grains, buckets of rice. You can do that on your own as well. You could buy it in bulk and divvy it up into buckets or baggies and use oxygen. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. The little packets to suck the oxygen out of the bag, or even the um, I'm having a loss of words today. The food sealers that suck out all the oxygen and or air, and then shrink wrap it, seal it. That will actually make your items that you shrink wrap in those um, plastic bags. It'll make it last like 2 to 3 years longer. So I have some stuff in those as well. All right, I hope it's been helpful. Again, if you want a list, a more in-depth list of what you can do to prepare, then just leave me your email address. God bless.